So how's everybody? You guys doing okay? Good. So I got something different to go over today than was originally on the calendar. I was able to line up a nice guest speaker for us who's an expert in patent and trademark filings. So I'm going to have him come next week because he couldn't be here this week. So that means we're going to talk about web development today and Thursday rather than next week. So I will open up the syllabus and sort of explain things again. Okay, so I've flip-flopped things so that we're going to go over, like for the next several weeks, we're going to be going over one skill set per week. So we'll go over it on Tuesday. We'll have an in-class on hands-on exercise on Thursday. And this week's going to be web development. So it was originally going to be product development, so patent and copyright and trademark filings. But I've got an expert to talk to you guys about that next week, so I've flip-flopped it to accommodate that. It's going to be a little bit of a short exercise on Thursday because we need to determine project teams. So on Thursday, I'm going to list all of those various projects that you guys mentioned in the first class that you'd be interested in doing. And we need to assign everybody in here to a project. Okay? So we'll do that on Thursday after. We'll do that on Thursday first, and then whatever time we have left, we'll do the web development exercise. Okay? Okay, so moving down to the course documents section. Web development and graphic design. Okay, so how many people in here have built a website before? I didn't? I thought I did. Yeah, it's recording. It's recording. I said it before I started talking. Okay, so some of you have built a website before, others not. There's a couple of main elements that we need to have in any website. A home page that basically has a brief storefront for your company and a navigation bar that allows people to visit other parts of the site. So first thing we need to have is a home page with a kind of sprinkling of the products and services that you offer and a navigation bar at the top so people can navigate to other areas. You need an About Us section where you talk about your company background, talk about things that make you different than the competition, talk about the people that are part of the project or part of the business, depending on what you're doing. It needs to have a section with profiles of your products and services. So, and with graphics that help visitors to better visualize and understand things. So, one of the things I'm going to start talking about graphic design today instead of web development, because there's a particular way that I want you to be able to make illustrations for your websites, and it involves using the graphic design software to kind of build workflow pictures of what your products and services do. The website can also include a lot of additional information pages where visitors can purchase products and services, detailed help functions and documentation, all kinds of other stuff too. But we need at least a product section, an About Us section, and a homepage, and a contact section. I didn't put that in here. There's two main packages that I recommend for graphic design. One is Photoshop. The other is Pixlr. How many people in here have access to Photoshop? Okay, not too many. Photoshop only costs about $20 a month to rent. It's a really nice software package. It's better than Pixlr, but Pixlr is free. So I'm going to teach you guys how to use Pixlr. You won't need to pay anything to be able to use Pixlr, but I highly recommend Photoshop as a resource for your small business. It's a very robust software package for graphic design. After we talk about graphic design, we're going to talk about web development. Dreamweaver is a software that allows for really robust web development activities. We're not going to do too much on Dreamweaver in this class. I have a webinar which illustrates a few things about Dreamweaver. That's about all we're going to go into. We are going to use Wix very heavily in this class. Wix is a free web development website which really allows for professional-looking websites with almost no knowledge or experience of how to build websites at all. So we'll talk a good deal about Wix today. So first of all, a crash course in graphic design. Let's pull up Pixlr. So here's the Pixlr website. In order to use this graphic design software, you just scroll down and go to where it says Pixlr Editor and click on Launch Web App. You can create a new image, open image from computer. We're going to create a new image in this case, a brand new graphic that we're going to put together for our website. So we'll call this Test Website Graphic. And we may need to change the width and height later, but we'll leave it as it is for now. So this gives us a template to work with. Basically, on the left-hand side here are a bunch of different tools that allow you to do different things with Pixlr. In particular, we're going to want to use this highlight feature, the drag and drop icon here, and the shapes tool. Here it is. No, it isn't. Shapes, the drawing tool right here. We're going to use those three items in particular. So one of the things I like to make sure to teach you guys, and I think is an important skill set for small business, is basically how to make digital collages. There's a lot of different things that you could illustrate on a website a lot better visually than you can just by describing them with words. So the extent to which I'm teaching you how to use Pixlr is basically in order to be able to create a collage, which you then save as an image file and transfer over to the website. So getting back to the template here, let me see if I can find. I want a particular website to show you guys as an example, and I can't remember the address. Yeah, I figured that was the wrong address. Let me, bear with me here for a second. I have an illustration I want to show you guys. This will work. So, in a couple of weeks, we're going to talk about customer acquisition. And in order to explain customer acquisition to you guys, I made a graphic that looks like this. If we open it in a bigger format, it looks like this. What I want you to be able to do is to create all these elements in here in a graphic file, and then save it as a picture and bring it over into your website. So arrows and words and pictures, boxes, all that kind of stuff I want you to be able to manipulate. So the way that I did this was largely using Google Images. So if we just go to images.google.com, you can find images of almost anything you want in the world just by looking on Google Images. So the way I came up with some of this stuff, I just went in and looked for, this is a particular example involving the Bakersfield Condors. So I needed a Condors logo. I just went in to images and typed Bakersfield Condors, and there's all kinds of logos and pictures of the Condors. I picked one in particular that I thought looked nice. We're going to save this image as Condors logo. And then if we look at this picture again, we need arrows. So you can go to Google Images and just type in double-headed arrow. There you go. Pictures of arrows. We'll take maybe this one right here and save that to our local drive. That should be good as it is. What else do we need from this picture here? Well, we want to be able to curve arrows too. So we'll go to Google Images and look for curved arrow. All kinds of curved arrows. So we'll pick one of these and save that to our local drive as well. And now we've got a few elements that we can combine in Pixlr. So and it's frozen.
So this did that to me earlier too.
What's that?
Pixlr did that to me earlier too.
Did
You
it?
can restart the whole computer to get it to working.
Let's see if we can do it without having to reset the whole computer. Test graphic 1. Okay. Looks like it's working again. So we've got a template to work with now, and we want to pull in those images that we found from Google Images and put them on our template. So if I do open image and go to desktop, you can see here the Condors logo, the curved arrow, the double arrow. I can open up that Condors arrow, and if I use this little dotted line graphic right here, I can highlight everything that's in this picture. Highlight. And I can just hit copy. Come over here, and Control V is the opposite of copy. And paste it into our template. And then you'll notice here we've got a new layer. It's very important to create things in Pixlr using layers. So every time you add a new picture, every time you add words, every time you add an element to your scrapbook, create a new layer. If you do that, then it allows you to go in and grab each of the individual layers and move them around. So we want that Condors logo up there. Now we want, we'll just use the Condors logo again as an example. Now we need a little more space on our template. So if we go to Image, Canvas Size, Width and Height, we're going to anchor it in the middle. And actually width isn't too bad. Height is what we really need to change. So now I've created a bigger template that I can put more things on. And when I told it how to create the template, I told it to put the images in the middle. So if we go here and hit New Layer, oops, Layer 2 and Layer 1. So I told you guys you need to use layers in order to create things. If you use a different layer each time you put something into Pixlr, it allows you to move that layer individually. So if we put Layer 1 here, that allows me to move this Condors icon. If I highlight Layer 2, it allows me to move this Condors icon. So I move things around to where I want them on the graphic template, and then we want arrows illustrating the relationship between these two items. So if we go back to Open Document, Open Image, and grab the double-headed arrow and copy it, we can paste that in here now too. Now our image is a little too big. Oops. So we're going to have to do that in a different way. In order to get this arrow to be the right size, you need to go into the image file that you opened and change the image size. So we're going to make this height, let's try 50 pixels. And then hit OK. So that makes it a lot smaller. And then if we go back to this thing for a second and we take layer 6 and delete the layer, see that takes the image back out. So now if we highlight this arrow again, copy it, bring it over here, now it's the right size, and we can move it around by clicking on the little arrow icon and then just dragging it to wherever we want it. Same thing goes for the curved arrow. So if we go in and open image, curved arrow, this image is way too big the way it is right now, so we need to go in and change the image size and change it down to maybe 100 pixels. And click OK. And then, same as before, we highlight what we want, copy, paste, and we click on the little arrow, we can move that around as well. So by using just the highlight tool, the little arrow grabbing tool, and the images. The other thing I wanted to show you was images. So let's say instead of this Condors logo down here. Yes?
How come it's the logo is blurry?
The reason it's blurry is because I changed the image size. So if we take these arrow layers back out again, and now we've just got the Condors logo. If I go back and do image size, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to go back to the so we need a bigger canvas. Make this 800 and this 2000. And we'll take out that condor. We'll go back here. Highlight the condor again. Copy, paste. So basically, you want to get the image to the size you want in its original file, and then bring it over to the template. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's say we wanted to create a chart where the Condors logo is pointing to some circles and boxes with words in them, basically. If we click on the drawing tool, You'll notice here there's squares, there's circles. We can make, let's make a square for now. So you just drag the the mouse button until you have the right size of circle that you want, and fill shape. We don't want black. We want white. So we're going to delete that layer that we just created. Oops. Okay, now we're going to create a image, and now we've got a white background. So actually, you won't be able to see the white background on the white template here. Let's make it a kind of a green background. So you can put a square in there, and then you can also put words in here. So So if you just click on the little letter button, that allows you to put text into the template. If you want to move that text so it's centered in the box, we just move it down like that. If we want to put these two layers together so that they move together, we can right-click here and click on Merge Down. Now, the words and the box move at the same time. They're merged together. And if we wanted to create an arrow between the two, then we just come back here to the double arrow, highlight that again, copy, paste, and then put an arrow describing the relationship between the two entities. So I want you to feel comfortable using Pixlr to create little collages where you've got pictures, words, and arrows that describe your various, describe a project. They could describe a new product. They could describe customer relationships, any particular thing. That's basically what I want you to be able to do in the graphic design software. Does that make sense? Questions about the graphic design software? Okay, let me go back to my template here. Turning screenshots into JPEG files. We didn't really do a screenshot. So in addition to Google Images, you can also go to a particular website. So if we look at the CSUB website, if we wanted to use that CSUB logo right there, and you couldn't find it on Google Images, you can actually do Control Print Screen on the buttons on your computer, and then you have to open up the Paint tool and paste into the Paint tool, and you'll see the exact image that was on the website now is on our Paint tool. If you click on Crop and highlight just the part that you want, then you've got just that image. And you can save it as, we're going to save it as a JPEG. And we'll put it on the desktop CSUB logo. So if we go back to the software now, damn, it froze on me again. So by using the keyboard with Control Print Screen and the Paint Pad, you can basically make a copy of any web page that you want, and then just highlight the part of that page you want, hit crop, and then you can save it as an image file and use that as well. Cropping images we talked about, adding shapes, adding text. So we did all that stuff. Let's see if this will allow me to do something. I need my... Hey, cool, it worked. So this is my laptop. If we go to, I can show you how Photoshop works on here. So if I go to Adobe Master Collection, Photoshop, one of the nice things about Photoshop is if you create a print screen image, and then open a new file. Oops. It automatically opens the right size for your image, and you don't have to use the paint function. So you'll notice here on the left-hand side, a lot of the same icons are in Photoshop that are in Pixlr. You basically do the exact same thing to move images around in here too. So with that being said, let me go to Wix. Crash Course in Web Development Wix. So creating a Wix account and choosing a template. Okay. For you guys, if you haven't used Wix before, you're going to go in and start now, create an account. Once you've already got an account, you just go to sign in. And I can't remember my password. Bear with me 1 second here. What is that damn password? Okay. We'll just use the laptop instead of the desktop. That way I don't have to remember the password. So once you've set up an account, your page is going to look kind of like this. My sites. If you want to create, when you first create your account, you're going to land on a page that looks like this. What kind of website do you want to create? Most of what we're doing in here is going to be a business type website, but online store, music, photography, there's all kinds of different templates that you can use. If we just use business and then choose the template version on the right-hand side, and you'll notice here consulting and coaching, service and maintenance, advertising and marketing. Let's say we wanted to create a consulting company. Or we wanted to build a website for a consulting company. We'll check on consulting and look at the different sample versions that they have. Maybe this Advisor and Co. one looks interesting, so we'll click on that. Edit. So the idea in Wix is basically if you click on anything, that allows you to edit it or move it. So if I click on this little picture of people here, I can move it around to different places in the website. If I don't want a planning button anymore, I can highlight that and just click backspace, and it gets rid of the planning button. Gets backspace again, it gets rid of that arrow. If I want to add, let's say I want to add a button. So I can add a new button, move it over here. If I double click in there, I can edit what the text says. So instead of button, we can call it price quote. Maybe people want to get a price quote for the consulting service. So you start out with a template of a certain kind, and then anything in there you either add or subtract to based on what you want the website to look like. So that image that we created before, oh crap, I put it in the other image. How do I want to do this? So if I did the same thing here that I did before with the condors image, or if we're doing a consulting company, maybe I want a picture of myself instead. So I could simply take a picture of myself on my cell phone, send it to myself on email as an attachment, or sync it to the laptop and get it off of the phone onto the laptop, and then I can move it up to Photoshop and use it in there. So if I go back to this image now, just as an example, if I save that as a JPEG and I put it on the desktop, sample image, and then I go back to Wix. If I want to change this image, I can go to Change Images. So right click and go to Change Images, Add Images. And these are pictures that I uploaded before for other projects. If I want to upload that picture that I just created, sample image, it'll pull up that image into the documents that I have in my cloud that I can upload. So if I then want to add that to the short list of things that I can add, it's there, click Done, and I've got that same image in here. Now if I wanted to resize it a bit so that it's not I go into Change Images again. And add images. I click on the image, and then right-clicking or left-clicking, I can save it as a different size. So going back to the website again, we'll add a picture of consultants. So I can take images from my cloud that I uploaded and put them anywhere I want on the page. If I want to edit text, I just need to double click on the appropriate text. And instead, you'll see a lot you'll see a lot in Wix where it says "I'm a paragraph." Basically, wherever it says "I'm a paragraph," you're going to want to go in and put text in there that's relevant for whatever business you're making a website for. So, our consulting firm specializes in outdoor advertising solutions. So whatever you want to change things to there, you can change the words. If you want to edit separate pages on here, you just go to Pages, click on there. There's a drop-down menu. You'll notice here there's a home page, an about page, a services page, and a clients page. So if I want to edit the about page, I'm just going to click there to about. It changes the page that I'm on. And I can edit whatever I want about that page. If I want to add pages to the website, so if I click on Pages and then Add Page, Add New Page, you'll notice that a new page in the website has been added to the menu and has been added so that I can edit it. So let's say product samples here. It changed that name to product samples in the menu there, and we've got a free screen here that we can add whatever we want to. So if we go back to images, add image, my image uploads. Maybe we'll grab a couple of these. Bags that are from another project and list those as product samples. You'll notice if you just grab the outside of the image, you can resize it to whatever you want. Add image uploads. Maybe we'll add that picture there too. If I wanted to add some text describing these pictures, I can go into Add Text. And there's all kinds of different styles of text that you can choose then. Small title, big title, all caps, blah, 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 blah. I usually go with this middle-sized I'm a paragraph. Move that down here. Double click. This is an example of our premium carrying case. Add text again, and then just grab it, move it down so that it's in the right place, and double click. This is a stylized image of the children's toilet seat. et cetera, et cetera. So that, really touchy with the cable there. That's how you add a new page and new images, new text. If you wanted to just add all text, you can put more text in there. I usually suggest that you match text up with pictures. Match pictures up with text. Don't have just pictures or just text. But that's a stylistic thing. That is most of what I wanted to show you on Wix. Let's see here. Not many of you have laptops with you today, so let's do this. Let's call it a day for today. On Thursday, first thing we're going to do is divide up into groups for which projects you're going to work on, and then we're going to do an exercise on web development. So for Thursday, please bring your laptops so you can work on this exercise, okay? Everybody bring laptops on Thursday. And that's it until Thursday. Yes, hey.
I just upload the link, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I follow you in the link. What the next can do? I don't understand why you call the link.
Can you show me?
Yeah, sure.
So you need to search for me.
Yeah.
Did you find me?
Yeah, and I follow you also.
But did you click on connect?
Connect?
Not follow. You need to click on connect. So go to my page.
Sure.
Yep, that's me.
Connect.
I don't know why. Click more.
More.
No, that's not doing anything. I tell you what, send me a message, okay?
Okay.
So go out of that.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. Just send me a message saying, hey, this is me, we need to connect.
Okay.
And then I'll connect us.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hey,
Yes.
I was just wondering, do we have tests in here or is it projects?
There's a test at the end of the semester
Okay.
on main concepts we went over.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
What about this one? Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Yes.
I resent you my PD personal development plan. I was just wondering if you got it.
What's your name?
Chad Neal.
Yeah, I think I did, Chad.
Okay.
When did you send it?
Well, right in class, like whenever you said that I didn't send
Today?
it. No.
Oh,
it was,
last time.
Last time you said you didn't get it, and so I just forwarded again to you. So it was. I don't forget if that's Tuesday or last Tuesday or last Thursday.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
No problem.